Welcome to the Berserk League. Havoc and Catalyst take over Italy today, with Catalyst entering the match as the favorite. Catalyst holds a commanding historical edge here, winning 71% of their encounters. He's clearly a nightmare matchup for Havoc, who is currently coming off a rough 532 run today. Let's see if the higher rank is too much to overcome. Catalyst is really pulling ahead with a 2-1 lead. A strong response from the number 12 seed. These rounds are flying by. Catalyst is really putting the pressure on early. The 5th seed is proving why he's in the top 10. Catalyst is making it look easy right now, holding that wine spot perfectly to secure another round. He's just totally in control now, picking up a 3rd straight win to open up a 4-round lead. Havoc secures this one from the wine, showing he can still hold his ground. A vital pick for the 12th seed to keep things interesting. Catalyst is currently putting on a clinic with a 6-2 lead. And honestly, it's a huge bounce back for him. After those losses to Havoc and Phantom earlier today, we're seeing that top 5 rating translate directly into a massive advantage right now. He drags the favorite of the wine to keep this momentum building. The seed difference is barely showing in these exchanges. Havoc is simply refusing to go away, taking another one to keep the surge alive. Catalyst takes a 7-5 lead into the break, and honestly, the favorite is playing just as we expected. He's holding the edge. But Havoc has fought back hard to keep the gap small. Let's see who handles the switch better. Catalyst keeps climbing, now sitting comfortable at 8-5. That's a tough run of results for the 12th seed lately. Catalyst is just relentless, extending the gap to 9-5. He's playing like a top 10 talent right now. He catches his opponent off the wine, adding another win to the current run. It's been a rough day for the number 12 seed. Havoc responds with a clean win to keep the deficit at 4. He's looking to channel that energy from his last head-to-head victory. Catalyst is still in the driver's seat at 10-7. That was an incredibly fast exchange to close things out. Unbelievable. He barely hangs on by a thread to secure his 3rd straight victory. He's putting up a huge fight to close this gap. Absolute madness. That's 4 straight for Havoc, and he's officially back in the conversation. He shuts down that push on the Tetris to put himself just 2 steps from victory. He shuts that door tight, bringing himself to the very edge of a victory. This puts his top-tier ladder rating on full display. He just keeps refusing to break, keeping the pressure on despite the stakes. He is fighting an uphill battle against the odds today. He just won't quit. That's another one for Havoc, leaving the favorite on match point. What a way to finish it. Catalyst shuts down the comeback and secures the win. He really dug deep to find that final push after getting pushed to the brink. Havoc earns a lot of respect for that effort. Hard-fought win. Welcome everyone to the arena. We have an exciting match today between Vortex and the favored Catalyst. Vortex draws first blood, managing to shut Catalyst down even with him holding the high ground. A slow start for a player who usually owns this matchup. Catalyst has an incredible historical grip on this rivalry with a win rate near 70%. The numbers show he's historically a nightmare for Vortex. We'll see if those past results give him the confidence to pull away early today. Absolutely ruthless. He is just tearing through the competition right now. He's simply outclassing everything right now, taking another effortless round. He's simply unstoppable from the Tetris, picking up another rapid win. A tough spot for the number 2 seed right now. What a scramble. Both players were nearly depleted, but he managed to scrape by for another win. Incredible! Vortex holds onto a sliver of life to secure that round from the ramp. Vortex is definitely playing with a lot of confidence after those recent wins. Vortex has been on fire lately, boasting an impressive 23-13 record over the last day. It is really striking how his current form contrasts with this scoreline. He's definitely having a strong week, but he can't seem to break Catalyst's rhythm today. Unbelievable. He survives by a threat to snap that streak and keep his momentum surging. Absolutely clinical work, locking down that fight with just a shred of health. Catalyst takes a big lead with a 9-3 score. Well, everything is going exactly according to the script here. He's clearly the man in charge and looks completely comfortable on his home turf. Time for a fresh start. Vortex finds some footing, but Catalyst still holds a huge lead. He's currently sitting just behind the top spot on the ladder. Catalyst is dominating this series, leading by 6 rounds. Coming off a solid performance against Havoc in his previous game. Vortex is certainly making this closer than it looked a few minutes ago. Vortex has a strong history of winning on this particular map. Catalyst is still comfortably ahead at 10-6. It's a real battle between the top 5 players on the ladder. Vortex is on a roll now, easily knocking him off the ramp to keep the streak alive. His recent losses against Havoc and Phantom might be weighing on him. Catalyst quickly regains control from the boost to shut that down. He is definitely proving why he was favored for this one. The speed of these interactions is just wild. Both players are reacting almost instantly now. The number 2 seed is really starting to fight back. Another clean exchange for Catalyst, putting him just 1 round away from a victory. He's really making his presence felt as the top seed. What a finish! He closes out the series with a completely untouched final round. He really knew exactly how to shut the door when it mattered. Vortex put up a hell of a fight, but that head-to-head dominance is just too much to overcome. Welcome to Red Line. We've got Havoc and Vortex facing off today, with Vortex stepping in as the clear favorite. Havoc manages to shut things down early, securing a strong start from the ramp. A solid response from the number 12 seed to open things up. Goodness, what a fight. Vortex barely scrapes through that exchange to take the kill off the box. The head-to-head history definitely favors the higher seed here. Vortex is starting to really put the pressure on, catching Havoc out on that ramp for another quick win. He's just completely taking over, picking up another clean win to extend the lead. What a scramble. He manages to survive that chaos by a tiny margin to keep the streak alive. Vortex isn't letting up, cleaning the floor with his opponent right off that ramp. This looks like a repeat of their clash from 16 hours ago. Havoc answers back with a precise set of shots to get back in the game. His current form has been tough today, but he's staying resilient. Vortex is definitely leaning on that 23-14 record from today. It really shows how much confidence he's carrying into this set. He's firmly in control, and now the pressure is on Havoc to prove he can actually close a gap this wide. Havoc finds his footing on the ramp to keep this interesting, refusing to let the match slip away completely. Unbelievable. He survives by a threat to take another one from the ramp, barely staying alive. This really is a battle of contrasting rhythms today. Vortex goes into the break with a 7-5 lead, and honestly, it's exactly what we expected to see. The second seed is comfortably on top, although Havoc is fighting back hard enough to keep this close. Time to see if Havoc can survive. Vortex is stretching that lead to an 8-5 advantage. The skill difference is becoming a real factor now. He's digging deep to chip away at his lead, narrowing the deficit to 2. The gap in our rating for these two is quite significant, with Vortex sitting near the top of the league. It really explains why the favorite is managing to hold his ground here. It'll be a tough climb for Havoc to reverse the trend. Vortex holds a commanding 3-point cushion right now. The favorite has to tighten things up after that slow start. Tough exchange here, but he manages to outlast his opponent to secure another round. He's really starting to push the pace now. Havoc is on fire, dragging his opponent right off the ramp to secure his third straight win. The momentum has completely shifted in this series. Vortex puts a stop to that run with a quick strike of his own. He's really asserting his authority as the second seed. Just a total shutdown here, leaving him in the dust as he moves one step closer to victory. His experience against the field today has really paid off. Havoc refuses to fold, catching his opponent from the ramp to stay in the fight. The underdog is showing some serious grit in the closing stages. And there it is. Vortex shuts the door with a perfect final kill to seal the victory. He just barely held his nerve in those low health scrambles to avoid a huge upset here. Really fought for that. What a match. Welcome to the Berserk League. We have Havoc taking on the favorite Catalyst today on Mapas. Havoc gets the early jump by utilizing the ramp to get the first pick here. A tough start for a player who entered as the favorite. Catalyst dominates the head-to-head history with a huge lead in total rounds won. But that doesn't matter if he can't find his footing in the opening of this specific set. It'll be interesting to see if Havoc can keep this momentum going. Havoc is firmly in control with a 2-1 lead. Coming into this set, this matchup advantage is historic. Catalyst is really struggling, trailing 3-1 now. A massive contrast to the 433 he's posted in the last day. The timing on these rounds is incredibly fast. Neither player is giving an inch of ground today. A real swing from that 13-11 victory there previous map. Absolutely crushing it from the ramp. That's 3 straight for Havoc. He's completely defying the ladder expectations right now. Catalyst answers back and cleans him right off the ramp. The top 5 seed needs to find some consistency here. He's really digging in now, keeping this momentum alive for his second straight win. He's playing with a lot more confidence now. Wow, the momentum has completely shifted as Catalyst secures his third straight round. He's showing exactly why he's the higher seed in this matchup. What a turnaround. He completely erases the deficit to bring us level at 5 apiece. He is completely locked in right now. Havoc quickly shuts that down and picks him off the ramp to regain a 1-round lead. Havoc takes a 7-5 lead into the break. I mean, he's absolutely playing the role of the spoiler right now. He's ignoring that huge historical disadvantage to keep the favorite under pressure. Let's see if the trend holds. That's an incredibly sharp response from the favorite, keeping the fight alive. That was a blinking and you missed it exchange. Havoc is really pushing the pace and he currently holds a significant advantage on this map. It's unexpected given that he's been struggling quite a bit recently. Well, we are seeing a total role reversal compared to his usual form. Now the pressure is entirely on Catalyst to stabilize. That was effortless. He's staying strong as he chips away at that gap. His overall head-to-head record gives him a massive edge to lean on. He stays aggressive, continuing his climb back into this game without taking a single point of damage. He's completely stopped that bleeding and now the gaps are narrowing. Absolute brilliance. He manages to tie this series up as his surge continues. He's really fighting back after that shaky start to the match. He's just completely taking over this game, securing his 4th straight round to take the lead. Everything is falling back into place for the favorite now. An absolute powerhouse performance as he secures his 5th consecutive round from the ramp. He is simply unstoppable right now, putting the pressure on for a final round victory. What a response. Havoc secures a critical win from the ramp to keep his hopes alive. Exactly what he needed to stay in the fight. Unbelievable. Catalyst shuts the door with a perfect final sequence to secure the victory. He really pushed the favorite to the limit today, but that poise in the final stretch made all the difference. What a match. Welcome to the Dunes. Vortex and Catalyst are stepping up for a great duel to see who takes the win. Catalyst has a really strong grip on this rivalry, winning about 69% of their head-to-head matchups. It's clear why he was the favorite heading into this game. Vortex will need to shake off that psychological weight if he wants to turn this around. Vortex is surging ahead with a commanding 2-1 lead. A huge shift in momentum for the number 2 seed. Everything is back to a dead heat now, and we're seeing some really quick reactions from both of these guys. He's entering this fight with a flawless 3-game run today. Vortex holds the edge now with a tight 3-2 lead. The second highest seed is really starting to assert control. Catalyst has clawed back to tie it up. He's really making a statement after those 3 straight wins earlier today. The two of them are trading rounds back and forth, and Vortex is finally finding a way to keep the pressure on. Vortex has the historical upper hand here with a 49% win rate on the map. It's a huge contrast to how he usually fares against Catalyst. Now we're seeing that statistical advantage actually turn into a real lead. He's showing a lot of grit, continuing this push to close the gap. He's fighting to prove those favorite labels were correct. Unbelievable. Vortex barely clings to life after that chaotic exchange to take the round. He's certainly making a case for that number 2 spot. Vortex goes into the break with a 7-5 lead. I mean, he's completely defied the odds so far. He's fighting back hard against a player who usually owns this matchup. Time to see if Catalyst wakes up. What a scrap. He survives an absolute war of attrition to keep his momentum rolling. He's really punishing that lower ladder ranking right now. He's staying steady, answering back with a completely clean trade. He's starting to play with a lot more confidence. Vortex is really running away with it at 9-6. He looks ready to fight for his ranking now. Vortex just keeps extending that lead to 10-6. Coming off that big victory over Havoc earlier, he's looking absolutely locked in. Catalyst isn't letting him coast to the finish line. That's a solid response to push things back a bit. He is still looking incredibly sharp throughout his current run today. Goodness, he almost went down. Vortex close out a victory by the skin of his teeth. Man, he just refuses to go down today. Another one for Vortex, putting him just a single round away from victory. He's completely flipped the script on this one. That's the final blow. Vortex secures the series with a clean finish. He really looked like he had an answer for everything tonight. Just an incredible display of skill to put that to bed. Welcome everyone to Orange. We have Havoc taking on the top-ranked Vortex in a battle for dominance today. Vortex is clearly the favorite coming into this with a 23-14 record over the last day. It's interesting to see Havoc start this one with an early lead, especially since the numbers suggest a pretty significant gap in their overall rating. Vortex claims the lead, putting Havoc on the ropes. Vortex is playing like the second-ranked guy in the league right now. They're completely deadlocked. Neither player is giving an inch in this opening set. Vortex edges ahead, holding a slim lead over Havoc. He's got the upper hand in their head-to-head history too. Havoc claws back to make it a 3-all stalemate. The Nemery 12 seed is definitely proving he belongs in this tier. Vortex quickly shuts him down as he tries to hold the ramp. It's a familiar story given the history between these two. Havoc has a tough mountain to climb after a rough 432 run over the last 24 hours, while he really needs to find a way to break this downward spiral before Vortex pulls even further ahead in the score. Holy smoke, that was an absolute war of attrition, and he just barely survives with a sliver of health. Havoc holds that ramp position beautifully to keep this a one-round game. That's nearly as many games as they've shared since the start. We're all tied up at 6-6 going into the break, and honestly, the huge skill gap on paper isn't showing here. Havoc is refusing to back down despite the odds, and he looks completely comfortable against the top 2 seed. Time to see who blinks first. Vortex takes the lead, pushing ahead 7-6. Just as the top 2 seed likes it. Havoc answers right back, bringing us level at 7 apiece. This has become a real toss-up, with neither player able to put together a solid string of wins. The higher rating is starting to show in the tighter moments. Vortex stretches his lead to a 2-round cushion. That looks like another result from their last encounter today. He's completely outclassing his opponent right now, securing another effortless win to extend the streak. He's simply untouchable right now, cleaning up another round without taking any damage. Vortex is putting on a clinic, reaching match point after another successful encounter. He's really capitalizing on that high seed status right now. And there it is. Vortex closes out the map with a definitive series of rounds. He really just asserted his authority in this set, leaving no doubt who the top dog is today. Welcome everyone to Fast Aim. Let's see if Havoc can pull off an upset against the favored Catalyst today. What a scramble. Catalyst barely survives that, finally shutting him down on the ramp. What a fight. He finally manages to knock Havoc off the wine box, though he barely walked away from that one. He really knows how to handle this opponent. A complete shutdown as he clears Havoc off the ramp to take a commanding lead. He's really starting to lean on that head-to-head dominance. A lightning-fast reflex shot makes it a perfect start for the favorite. The top 10 ranking is showing a lot of value here. A very tidy fight from the ramp to put some pressure on the leader. His recent head-to-head record looks overwhelming on paper. Catalyst just secures another one from the ramp, extending that lead to 5. The skill gap between these two is clearly on display. Havoc is definitely feeling a bit more comfortable now, securing a nice trade from those planks. That's the first round he's taken since their last encounter. Catalyst is just too sharp from the window, quickly shutting down any momentum Havoc tried to build. Catalyst is just refusing to let this one go, effortlessly picking Havoc off that toolbox. He completely shuts him down from the ramp, moving the score to 8-2. He's putting that top 5 placement into practice today. He keeps the pace high, securing another 4 straight as we approach the break. He's just completely in control as we head into the half. Catalyst takes a huge 10-2 lead into the break. Well, this matches the pre-game hype perfectly. Havoc is struggling to keep up with that heavy 71% head-to-head win rate. Time to see a total reset. He's putting on a clinic right now. Havoc just has no answers for that speed. He is really putting a stranglehold on this series. A clean win for Catalyst, who just puts the pressure on by taking him off the planks. He's completely outclassed him in this specific pairing so far. Hats off to Havoc for keeping the dream alive, dropping a huge shot to knock Catalyst off the toolbox. He's showing some real grit to get back in the fight. Unreal precision to close it out. Catalyst wipes him off that wine box to secure the